Hello everyone and welcome to our event Open Innovation is the Art of Hopin. It's a pleasure to be here and see such a fantastic group of dreamers, creators and game changers from all over the world. My name is Angelo Ramalho and it's an honor to be with you today and share the stage with our guest speakers and Efacec team members that will lead us in this journey through innovation and technology. Today, open innovation and collaboration are the stars of our digital event. Through technology produced in-house, Efacec develops cutting-edge products, solutions and systems that integrate the daily lives of millions of people worldwide. And we address the major challenges of today's society, namely the blue economy, decarbonization and digitalization. Energy, environment and mobility are three strategic pillars of our development of sustainable societies on which Efacec bases all its activity. We export more than 70% of our revenues worldwide, and we are present in 11 countries, selling to more than 80 geographies. With our teams and resources, Efacec creates solutions of high added value, assisting the sustainable development of markets and ensuring customer satisfaction all over the world. Innovation has been part of our DNA for more than 70 years. Collaboration and sustainability help to shape this identity, combining our expertise in an innovation ecosystem. But what you are going to see today is just a glimpse of what is yet to come for Efacec. Last year, we launched several technological solutions, but two of them deserve specific mention today: the Cross-Barrier 100 and our patented modular system transformer, as they both have just been awarded with one of the most prestigious product design awards in the world, the Red Dot Award. An outstanding achievement that sets the bar for development of the new products and solutions at Efacec. At the beginning of 2021, we launched our electric vehicle charging solutions. And today, we open our house to all of you through this crowdsourcing platform. We have no boundaries, we never stop, and we will propose adding in 2021 more incredible technological solutions to our portfolio. But we can't do this alone. We don't want to. So we open the doors of our home, introducing to you our open innovation strategy and collaborative crowdsourcing platform, hopin. Hopin is a part of our commitment to collaboration, co-creation and sustainability towards an empowered future. A platform fueled by yours and our creativity and diversity. Through hopin, we encourage you to think, build and implement the future of technology and innovation. Because we believe that individually we can dream on a better tomorrow, but together we have the power to build it, and with no limits. And that's what our proposal is all about: designing a smarter future for a better life, for us and for the generations to come. And speaking of purpose, I welcome our brand and communication director, Sandra Pombo. Be ready, challenge, and be challenged. Welcome to our home of open innovation. Sandra, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Angelo, for your brilliant presentation, and thank you all for being with us here today. My name is Sandra, and I'm here to talk about purpose. And I do hope that every one of you, everyone that are here today with us, and those who are watching from all parts of the world, know what purpose is. Because purpose is the reason why you wake up in the morning. Purpose is what motivates you to wake up. Purpose should be the reason why you chose the job that you have. Purpose is the reason for your existence, is the mission of life. So everyone should know their purpose, because that's what makes worth living. And not only people have a purpose, companies do have a purpose too. They have the responsibility to achieve a common objective that leads their value creation, their people, and their future. And as Angelo said, our purpose at Efacec is designing a smarter future for a better life. This is what drives us. We don't develop technology just for the sake of it. We apply innovation and technology to sustainability to improve people's lives. People who work with us, the people who we work for, and we do it by offering integrated solutions in the fields of energy, mobility, and environment, shaping the future of our cities with connectivity always present. We work like an orchestra in a synchronized and harmonious way, because what we do has an environment, economic, and social impact on the entire planet. And we know that. We know this, and this is the reason why sustainability is one of our core values. This is the reason why we at Efacec are fully committed to contribute to the development of many, if not almost all, of the targets defined by the Sustainable Development Goals through our portfolio, operations, and the relations with all our stakeholders. We are currently present in several value chains with a relevant impact on the environment, and our R&D activity is developed to reduce environmental impacts and increase energy efficiency, also contributing to the well-being of the communities where we have activities or where our projects have an impact. And because we are driven by our purpose, remember our reason of existence, we know that we only can achieve it through sustainability. Thereby, Efacec is involved in the most important national and global commitments that aim to make electric mobility, for instance, the new normal by 2030, and establish the goal of reducing greenhouse gas emissions by at least 55% by 2030. Such as the signing of the open letter to the European Commission in the support of the European Green Deal. We have also joined EV100, promoted by the Climate Group, focused on accelerating the transition to electric vehicles among our employees. And as a member of PCSD Portugal, Efacec signed the Letter of Commitment Business Ambition for 1.5 degrees, led by the United Nations Global Compact. But sustainability is not only about the environment. It is also and mostly how we lead our business. And this is one of the most important reasons to us: responsible leadership, responsible business. And we aim at Efacec to be an example of responsible business. And because the future is approaching fast, we teamed up with Formula E and the DS Texita team on the race to sustainability, growing our business internationally, strengthening our brand globally, and sharing our purpose to design a smarter future for a better life on and off track. There is no doubt that Efacec is driven by technology and by innovation made by people and for people. And this is the reason why we are here today, because each of us, you, I, all of us, have the unique power to transform the world now, looking to tomorrow, together. And this is our purpose. This is what drives us. What about you? Thank you for being here with us today. And now I welcome Nuno, Efacec Chief Technology Officer, that is leading us to our innovation strategy. Thank you so very much.
Efacec has long been innovating in close partnership with several different entities as part of our ecosystem. Clients, university and research centers, investors, and many other stakeholders. Today, it's all about taking innovation to the next level and pushing it further and beyond. Also, we aim at shaking the internal culture to become braver, to open up to the community by endorsing specific challenges that contribute to both parties on a win-win relationship. We believe that individually we can dream on a better tomorrow, but together we have the power to build it. Hello, my name is Nuno Silva and I'm the CTO of Efacec, and welcome to our innovation playground behind technology. The building of our strategy is definitely an exploratory process. We analyze the market and identify the trends and vectors of change, and then we have the conditions to start building our innovation charter by addressing possible future scenarios, by selecting the R&D initiatives that are then composed by our technology roadmap. And this is done through a significant analysis of inputs such as the market trends, the current and future needs of clients, benchmarking with competitors, and an internal analysis of our own skills and also continuous improvement. Also, by exploring synergy within Efacec business areas, we are able to create new revenue streams by exploring even new business areas. And we do this, our strategy definition is done through several different steps. We, of course, based our macro technological roadmap, and also we decompose this roadmap in several different business unit strategy plans. And we do this with two fundamental ground-based processes, the R&D management process, which is of a standard use, and also the product lifecycle management, also of transversal use. And we do have a set of digital tools that not only allows us to manage the R&D project itself, but also to manage our intellectual property. And last but not least, we do have our innovation strategy, our home of open innovation, which is what brings us here today. And by driving innovation areas within Efacec, we can explore immense potential. There's the energy transition by positioning ourselves to tangibilize cleaner and efficient energy grid solutions, also to contribute pragmatically to a decarbonized and smart mobility. Moreover, integrating solutions for water and waste treatment and valorization. And last but not least, looking into cities to contribute to sustainable and greener cities. Therefore, we have within our innovation a 4C of our future. And 4C stands for curiosity, because we need to be curious to invent the future. Creativity, because we need to differentiate ourselves. Collaboration, because that's the only way we can move faster. And be brave and have courage. And this means we aim at having a breakthrough technology with definitely a value proposition and also a monetization through a business model. And there are 4 questions we need to address. Can it be done? Should it be done? Can it be profitable? And can it scale? And definitely, the answer to these questions is only one, and we count on you for a yes. The challenges involved increase with the value creation. We can have incremental innovation, we can have breakthrough innovation with new customers and new business models, and we can actually aim at disrupting the market. With all this, we want to reduce the cycle of innovation, we want to shorten the time to market, and we want to increase differentiation. With this, all we want is to become relevant, and this is our innovation strategy. And be relevant to our people, be relevant to our customers, and be relevant to our partners. And yet, we aim at having a desirable through meaningful solutions, challenging yet feasible, and viable and fast. And this is our ROI, our relevance on innovation through open innovation. And therefore, investment in innovation and new technologies is key to value creation and long-term business sustainability. Strategic R&D management is critical to reduce time to market and increase impact. R&D external partnerships are crucial to be fast, to be better, and to maximize value generation. And open innovation is essential for co-creation, risk mitigation, and forward-looking with disruptive projects. It is a pleasure to today launch our home of open innovation. Thank you very much.
Individually, we can dream of a better future. Together, we have the power to build it. Technology and innovation are part of Efacec's DNA. Collaboration and sustainability shape this identity. Make yourself comfortable and join us in this journey. Life inspires us. Making it better drives us. Each one of us is unique and has a special power to transform the world. Making time for what matters the most. Getting closer and safely to what is more important. And always being present for life. Nurturing a blooming customer-centric grid of green energy. For a lighter footprint on Earth. Shooting for the stars, aiming for the moon and planets. Caring for Earth's ecosystem. Keep on empowering dreams. This is our technology. This is our innovation. Impacting more than 1 billion co-citizens of our planet. Tailor-made for life, your life.
Hello. Hello to the Efacec community. It's a pleasure to be here virtually with you today to celebrate the launch of Efacec's innovation ecosystem, strategy, and the platform Hopin. I am a professor of entrepreneurship and social innovation, and all my life I have been surrounded by innovation. First, at Instituto Superior Técnico, where I worked for 4 years among all the engineers, then in Silicon Valley, where I studied for my PhD in technological innovation, and then for a decade at the business school INSEAD, where I led the Entrepreneurship Center. And later, in 2015, when I returned to Portugal, at Portugal Social Innovation, a government initiative that I founded and launched to create an ecosystem of social innovation in Portugal. Now at Católica, as Dean, I have the opportunity to collaborate with truly innovative companies, such as Efacec. And the ideas that I want to share with you today are the result of all of these experiences. Our topic today is open innovation and how best to nurture and leverage an innovation ecosystem. Efacec is known for its innovative, homegrown technology deployed globally, and proudly so. It is also investing heavily in R&D projects, many in collaboration with academia, which is great. But we need to go beyond that. To be truly a sustainable innovator in the connected world that we live today, it is required to practice open innovation beyond the organizational boundaries. And open innovation can be applied to hardware, to software, to systems and services. For example, in hardware, for those old enough to remember, IBM was the leader in powerful computer mainframes, which were essentially standalone, complex engineering systems that were closed. The PC revolution changed the industry structure with the concept of modular systems with clear connections between them, where an ecosystem of partners and suppliers would compete and collaborate to innovate on specific modules, thereby increasing the value of the whole system and creating a lot of value and profits to the companies that controlled the interfaces, but also to the innovators in modules that had a huge market for their innovation. In that battle of the PC wars, Apple, despite its superior but integrated technology products, lost the PC wars to Microsoft and Compaq and Dell, and was sent to niche markets and almost to bankruptcy. But Steve Jobs, a great innovator, learned from that strategic Apple mistake, and when launching Apple's foray into the mobile phone, they created, maybe for the first time, an open ecosystem of innovation in mobile software with the App Store, where the interfaces were open to a myriad of app providers competing for innovation and attention of the consumers. And the rest is history, as this became the standard for the growing mobile industry. But people think that Apple invented the smartphone with the iPhone because of the genius of Steve Jobs. Well, they did not. They copied this idea from a small Silicon Valley startup that I knew called Danger. And that startup, for the first time, developed this concept of an all-time web-connected phone that would allow to browse the internet. And Apple replicated this concept that they saw coming from the outside and conquered that market. And funny story, Danger was later acquired by Google, and the software team of Danger was then leveraged by Google to launch Android, which then deployed the same model of open innovation platform to compete with the ecosystem that Apple had created. So Apple was truly a great innovator, but because they were taking ideas from the outside. Because the value creation today is for companies that are able to build platforms upon which other companies compete and invest to serve customer needs, leading to a momentum of innovation and resource allocation to those platforms. In those innovation ecosystems, the voice of the users is key, because most innovations happen when existing technologies and solutions are coupled with customer insights solving customer problems. But don't expect that it will be the customers who will propose an innovative product specification. Henry Ford, the famous innovator in the auto industry, famously said, if I had asked consumers what they wanted, they would all have said a faster horse carriage. But he invented the automobile. You should have customers' input into your innovation process in the form of their problems, their issues they are facing and need solutions, align with main societal trends. But then is the team of innovators that can discuss and decide how to solve these issues for the consumers through new solutions, rearranging and deploying existing and new technologies. And that effort cannot be made behind closed doors of the company. It needs to be done in collaboration with this ecosystem of partners, of suppliers, of academia, entrepreneurs that bring their innovative ideas, their novel products designs, and launch and deploy new business models. So if in your strategy, you can develop a platform of open innovation, as in the case of Efacec's ecosystem, in the core areas of energy, mobility, and digitalization, and mobilize a host of partners to contribute to that ecosystem, the whole ecosystem will be value creating in a way that can benefit all of the members. I believe that for the strategy of the future, companies cannot continue thinking in terms of firms and industries. They need to think in terms of ecosystems and markets. And the design of the innovation ecosystem is a key strategic choice for any leading company. As Efacec wants to nurture, develop, and design an innovation ecosystem in the areas of energy mobility, energy digitalization, and mobilize this host of partners, there are some important decisions, discussions that need to be developed. Questions such as, who do I bring to the table in my innovation ecosystem? What is the incentive for people to engage and share in this ecosystem? How do I create a merit system in which the best innovators get rewarded? With whom is my ecosystem complementing? Who are my complementers? And with whom is my ecosystem competing or trying to disrupt? Who are the competing ecosystems? Again, don't think in terms of firms and industry. Think in terms of ecosystems and markets. That is the strategy direction of the future. And being able to create a platform of innovation, of open innovation, that is more powerful than competing platforms, will be the edge that will give you a competitive advantage. Now, just to finalize, a couple of additional ideas about open innovation. And speaking about Efacec, Efacec wants to position as one Efacec, innovation-driven but purpose-fueled. And Efacec's purpose is designing a smarter future for a better life. This is indeed a bold purpose, capable of aligning different stakeholders in the innovation ecosystem that Efacec wants to create. But you will need to engage in this ecosystem not only academia, startups, and SMEs, but I believe also social innovators, people who are deploying new solutions to basic issues, fundamental issues facing our planet, facing our society, sometimes facing disadvantaged segments of society, and sometimes creating solutions that bring well-being while using efficiently natural resources. There are social innovators working in developing countries, like in Africa. There are social innovators working in Europe, and they bring different elements to the equation. Social innovators in developing countries often are a great source of inspiration for effective and low-cost, bottom-up distributed solutions, for example, to energy access and mobility issues, as well as to novel ways to apply existing, sometimes mature technologies. On the other hand, social innovators in more developed countries are a great source of inspiration for new consumer trends and for novel business models with strong impact, align with Sustainable Development Goals and sustainability. So to truly achieve its purpose of designing a smarter future for a better life, Efacec's innovation ecosystem will need to strategically reach out to and engage with social innovators to reinforce this wonderful open innovation strategy that Efacec is developing. I think you are on the right course of action strategically. I wish you the best of luck in this endeavor for the benefit of Efacec, its ecosystem of innovators, and humankind. Thank you very much, and good luck.
Good afternoon and welcome you all to our Innovation panel. I am Hugo Campelo. I'm the Technology Director at Efacec, responsible for our systems business unit, energy, environment and transportation. So I represent here one of the most active groups in this new innovation ecosystem that we are here in today promoting and launching. In this panel, we will focus on 4 C's, 4 dimensions that are crucial for this new open innovation paradigm. Being them, the first C, co-creation methods and methodologies, collaboration, which is mostly a behavior, a way of being, creativity, and last but not the least, the challenge, always involved in this new type of innovation. And so, to discuss this today, we will have here with us 5 distinguishable and honorable entrepreneurs from our Portuguese ecosystem. Our group is diverse and inclusive, from private to public sector, from large to smaller companies. So, today we will have here Jorge Portugal, representing Cotec, our main business association in Portugal, promoting innovation and technological cooperation. Filipe Araújo from Porto Municipality, one of our most dynamic cities, and where he is responsible for the innovation strategy at the municipality level. Following Tomás Carvalho, representing here iMatch and the collective organization that is inspiring us and co-organizing with us this event today. And very, very well established and in the cooperation and in matching startups and bigger companies. So we will count on that experience today. Also, Débora Campos, representing our startup, Agro Green Tech, a recent startup focused on the circularity of food waste residues, and Andrea, representing Microsoft, which is one of the most innovative companies in the world, and namely Microsoft Portugal. So thank you very much for being here today with us. And shooting directly and starting with Jorge. Jorge, in your perspective, how can innovation initiatives improve the competitiveness of organizations such as Efacec, but not solely? So, Jorge.
Thanks, Hugo. Good afternoon to all that are online and attending this event. First of all, thanks for having us, inviting us. It's and we congrat Efacec for this new milestone regarding the launching of this open innovation platform. And you are pretty much right when you say that these four dimensions, so co-creation, competition, creativity, and challenge, are the basis of the pillars of open innovation. I would say that my first message that this open innovation is not really a new idea. We have been listening about open innovation in papers, in speeches, in lectures for almost 15 years. But the point is, and this is really only a few companies, and I can name only a few companies, have been nailed right in how to do it in practice, how to build a platform in which you can bring all researchers, activities, actors, in order to promote and to accelerate the innovation cycle. And I would say there are very good reasons for having these delay between theory, so the paradigm emerges, and practical victories. Because I would say that success comes because when the company is able to face a dilemma. And the first dilemma is to have in the vision of the future, that the vision of its future mostly will cannibalize and will destroy the business of the present. And so these ambidextry, so these looking to the future in different with a different lens from looking to the present, will be the source of open innovation, saying that okay, our business, which will be it's successful today, but will be probably will be obsolete in the near future. Someone else will do it better, cheaper, and faster. So we have to open outside in order to see who is building the future. And the point is exactly that. Why to open outside? We see many companies that are close, looking internally, and they say, oh, we know everything about our business. Oh, the other guys outside, they don't understand our business and our problems. Or we are doing much better. They are not solving actually our problems. So having a vision to an outside vision, having and being open, it's not only a matter of having time to look to the to outside world. It's only also a matter of being able to understand that resources are limited, and the company has not resources or people or know-how to do everything. So, and the second idea is that you have to co-create, definitely because of this lack of resources, lack of talent, and lack of information about how the market is evolving and how you are going to be again relevant in a new cycle of growth, a profitable growth. So actually, uh, why companies cannot do it? Because first, they have a close culture, so they see themselves as the leaders, and they don't see others. They can occupy their place in the future. Second, they don't know what is the role of being in a platform, an open. Should they be the orchestrator? Should they be the leading role? Should they do everything internally, and only doing small parts to others? Or they should be producing technology they will be licensing to others? So what is the role? And about competition, creativity, and challenge. So basically, competition is about to create a bigger pie without innovation, and as well to have ability to split the pie among all those that are co-creating the pie. So it's about the way the value is created, but also the way the value is split. And of course, creativity. It means talent, and means that your talent in your company, it's not enough. You need talent from above, from new guys, from startups, from new people with different ideas that can see your problems in a different way, in a different perspective. And of course, this brings to challenges. And the biggest challenge is to manage risk. And to manage risk means, and there are many risks, the risk of not getting the right technology, the right product, or looking at your partners and they are just, you are doing everything right, but your partners will just delay the development, will not get the things right, or they won't be able to deliver at the right time, at the right stuff. So we see that this is absolutely critical because the acceleration of innovation is the most powerful competitive weapon. So you have to be, in the past, say 30 days, 45 days, 1 month, 3 months will be the cycle time for launching new products. Now new features, new products may take 1 week, 2 weeks. So you have to be faster than new resources from others. You have to also to focus on what you do the best, what act, and what are the others, what the others can bring to the table in terms of assembling a new product, a new system, a new project. And of course, you need to build an ecosystem. When you think about an open innovation platform, we are thinking about an ecosystem. And an ecosystem, it's not a one night stand. It's a continuous relationship among many, many partners, and that they have to be ready. It's like a party. It's like an ongoing party in which everyone needs to be happy to be in the party, needs to be to have the feeling that they are gaining something to be in the party, in the platform. So I would say that this, and for ending this first idea, the message is that when you build an open innovation ecosystem, and you are addressing all this, the 4 C's, you are building a virtuous cycle. A virtuous cycle in the sense that you develop new products faster, with less risk, less cost. You share costs, you share risks, and you have products that are more profitable, address new needs of the market. They deliver growth, they deliver new revenues, more profit, and with more profit and more revenues, you can increase and you can generate a new cycle, and you generate new products and new innovations. So, and this requires a fundamental new perspective of the company that is embarking in the innovation platform. That's how I believe that Efacec is ready now to go. So that will be my first ideas, and I rest my the idea for now.
Thank you very much, George. And for highlighting particularly 1 C that is not here in clear explicit so far, but which is culture, okay? And you highlighted it very, very well, so the importance of culture. So, Philippe, how do you see this role for the open innovation as a valid and added value strategy, namely for the public sector and for smarter cities like Porto?
Hi, Hugo. Thanks for the invitation. Thanks to Efacec for this wonderful event. And I would like to say hello to all the panelists and the people that are watching. Well, definitely, after listening to what open innovation means to the sector, the private sector, I would say that the public sector has most of the same ideas. So in the context of the public services, the open innovation aims integrating users and stakeholders from the creation to the ideation so the ideation to implementation. So all this process, how can we bring everyone into the process? And the objective on the public services is always related with designing real life solutions that can, of course, be tested by users, and thus again receiving their feedback to readjust, to adapt, to refine, and even to implement new services. So in the end, it's about developing a comprehensive and a cross-disciplinary approach to public policies. And if they are accompanied by design, and they are definitely enriching the projects that most of the local authorities are developing, and especially they are involving stakeholders that often they are overlooked. So we have here a huge opportunity to involve many others that usually are not in the process, and with many expertise. We have been consolidating the local ecosystem for the creation of a multidisciplinary and a cross-sectoral strategy for the implementation of smart cities concepts, especially supported by a broad open innovation and also co-creation methodology. So definitely the 4 C's that you selected are very, very important on this strategy for the cities. And the development of this smart city strategy, if you want, as the one that is envisioned by the city of Porto, is based on solutions for smart governance, smart monitoring, where activities are linked with clear quality of life indicators. So taking in mind that we are here for the citizens, we are definitely in our strategy, it's also fully aligned with the new Horizon Europe vision. So what Europe has been driving in terms of smart cities, digital cities, but especially moving from smart cities vision, where technology is the driver, to smart citizens new paradigm. So where citizens are the two triggers for all the smart actions, and where we can measure and have indicators for the sustainability, for mobility, for urban planning. So we have been investing a lot on this in the development of also a technology infrastructure that supports all of this, and implementing smart urban solutions, a lot based on the data that we can collect. So it's very important for cities, the amount of data that we already have in order to provide new services. And at an early stage, the process, it was crucial that inside innovation was very, very important. So we have been promoting also innovation inside our house, in the municipality, but definitely there is a lot to learn from outside the organizations. And when we mean this, we mean companies, but we also mean citizens, other municipalities, tourists, and so on. So there is a lot that we have been putting on our strategy in terms of open innovation, and especially driving the 4 C's that you mentioned.
Of those particular initiatives I have in mind is our newest innovation project in Esprella, where we combine energy and social aspects, and I believe
Definitely.
very important for that particular part of the city. And there's an extrapolation later to other locations.
That's if you allow me, that's exactly the kind of project that states very well what is open innovation when it brings the companies and also the public services. Asprella, the sustainable project that we just launched, that is supported by EU grants, is meant to develop the first energy community, where we will be encountering a lot of challenges, if you want, where there will be a lot of creativity will be needed, but where we bring the private sector, the public entities, and the citizens in co-creation project that I believe will change and will make a difference on the quality of life, especially on energy poverty problem that we encounter in Portugal. So that's an excellent example that I'm glad that we are developing together with Efacec and many others.
Thank you very much, Philippe. Tomás, according to your experience, and now that we have already touched some of the biggest aspects, the culture, the theory, and the books, as George mentioned. So in practice, do you think that these open innovation programs can really, or are they really contributing to accelerate the startup ecosystem?
Hi, Hugo. How are you? Thank you, first of all, for inviting me here. I would like to thank all the other members of the panel and to thank everyone that's watching because they are choosing to invest their time to listen to what we have to say. So thank you very much. As for your question, well, allow me to be a little bit polemic here. I would say that it's not an obvious question, and it depends. That will be my final answer. So, why would it depend? Would you ask? Well, I feel like there are a lot of open innovation models and processes that bring value to the table, as well as others that don't. So, if we look at the ecosystem the last 5 years, we can see that it has had a clear evolution from formats as challenges, competitions, and even awards that works at that time. So if you put the momentum of that in that moment of time, they work for that specific moment of the ecosystem, but those solutions are not the solutions that the ecosystem needs, at least as much as now, because what we feel is that the ecosystem has grown up, and awards and competitions for startups where one would go and pitch and receive a check and an award and nothing else. That's no longer perceived as valuable as other models that we have nowadays. We feel like, so it depends on the ultimate goal, I would say. If your ultimate goal with your program is to generate communication, well, it may have that kind of an impact, but I feel like the ecosystem is moving from that format to something with more impactful for both sides.
Okay, thank you very much. It was not so polemic, Tomás, but it is understandable and genuine. So the model is important, and to know what to do next, and not nurture just champions of contexts that jump from one contest to another. So Deborah, jumping in to a particular case. Agro Green Tech. She's your baby from 2019. So, what opportunities and challenges do these programs bring to startups such as Agro Green Tech?
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, it's a pleasure to be here. But taking into account Tomás' comments. Actually, for us, when we have started with our Green Tech idea, the idea was born in 2017. It was actually fundamental, the open innovation platforms and these kind of programs and awards, because they enable us at the first moment to to discuss this idea with mentors and with people from the market and have a feedback, and then how to build up on this. but also when we were in competition against other ideas, we were able to actually evaluate the value of what we were creating. So in that point of view, it was important. But I also understand what Tomás was saying, that is not enough. We need more. We need more opportunities with more add value, because it's not enough to participate in a competition and win a award and is that. No, it's not that. That is only the beginning, and several challenges come after these prizes and awards that startups have to overcome. And from our point of view as a startup, we have actually encountered some challenges of open innovation. And when we get to a point, not so early, but when we are trying to establish some partnerships, some potential clients, one of the startups issues are most of the times the legal questions, such as contracts, NDAs, and the most of times we do not have financial support to do these stuffs or the knowledge to how to proceed on these matters. So this is a big issue. And also, when we get to these kind of meetings with corporates, with partners, also another challenge at startups, and from our side we had, it was the different languages that are applied in these different circles. So we had to adapt our startup language to the corporate language to be acceptable, and to show that we had some that we understand what the issues with our future clients were. Therefore, I can establish these three items of challenges: the corporate languages that are different from startups, lack of support in legal aspects, and also sometimes when we are from the outside of the point of view of the corporates, we have different knowledge from the market interactions, and that might be an issue also, because companies might be looking for a specific problem solving, and we do not have the knowledge per se of all the what they are looking for. On the other side, on the opportunities, corporates are opening more and more to open innovation sources. So they are not only searching for solutions for their problems within the companies or within the partners. They are more open to go to startups, to go to these open innovation events to catch some opportunities. That is a big opportunity that is rising. I felt in skin several differences from 2017 until now. COVID, it was a major difference for the point of view of the potential clients. And also, companies, they are more trying to create opportunities for startups, not only to buy the idea, but to together with the startup to create a more added value opportunity for both of them. So I believe this is the big opportunities that I identify as a startup that are changing the market and the value added of the startups.
Thank you very much, Deborah. Jumping into Andrea. Andrea, you come from, and you are a part of one of the most innovative companies in the world. The installed base in Portugal and the operations are definitely, for sure, different from those that you have all over the world, namely in the US. But I'm sure you are highly active in our ecosystem. So I would start by asking you, having in mind these 4 C's, these 4 concepts, which is the one that you would choose as the most relevant that characterizes Microsoft relationship and that Microsoft has been nurturing so far in Portugal?
Thank you. Thank you. Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me, and it's a pleasure to be here today with all of you. I would like to say that for Microsoft, innovation, as you just said, it's an integral part of our business, of our strategy, and but we believe that ultimately every company it's a technology company. Technology is becoming more and more a predominant part of the business of every company around the world, and so innovation becomes a primary element in every company strategy. Now, we rely on open innovation for a lot of the different challenges that we face, both locally as well as at the corporate level. And I believe that the four C's that you've just mentioned, with the addition of culture, which I believe it is absolutely very important, are all very fundamental, necessary elements. But I would insist on the challenge. The challenge is, if I have to pick one, the challenge is a very important element. It's important that when we focus on innovation, we focus on the challenge, on the problem that we are trying to solve, and we identify together with creativity, with cooperation, collaboration, what the solution is. And Microsoft, both at a global level as well as the local level, has been leveraging open innovation to tackle some of the most important challenges. And I would say recently, probably the biggest focus we've had in leveraging startups and in innovation in general coming from non-traditional sources is around sustainability. Microsoft recently made a very ambitious pledge, which is that by the year 2050, which seems quite far away still, but is really around the corner if we think that what we need to do is to be able to take out from the environment all the CO2 emissions that we have emitted historically from the first year of foundation of Microsoft. In order to be able to do that, it's not just about becoming carbon neutral, carbon negative, but it's a lot more. In order to do that, there's not enough technology out there that will allow us to get there. There are solutions that do not exist yet, and for this reason, we really need to rely on those startups that are now investing in those leading edge technologies that are not yet at the commercial stage, where we can invest and help them accelerate their technology and bring them at the global scale, so that we are, as Microsoft, able to leverage them, but also other companies, customers, partners are able to leverage as well. I would say also another very important aspect was still on sustainability, was to internally apply a very stringent carbon tax that we use to fund the AI for Earth program, which is basically it's a massive global program that allows developers, startups, NGOs, etc., to take advantage of technology, data sets, and to network with people with similar ideas to address specific issues around the environment, in particular around climate, which we have been seeing, and we are all witness of the impact that this is having around agriculture, around biodiversity, around the scarcity of water. So these are two things that at the global level have been very important for us to focus on. And then I would say, if we have to look at it globally, we have built on this global challenge recently, calling for action several startups around the world to pitch for an impact and to identify solutions around specific environmental problems. Most recently, also, we focused on investing on startups and young entrepreneurs from universities on trying to find solutions to accelerate electric mobility, and I could go on. So I think this is identifying key challenges and being sure that these challenges have a very clear problem and solution in mind, and helping them to come to market, to arrive to the market, and then eventually connecting them with the ecosystem of customers and partners we have, which is the real value that Microsoft can bring. It's what we really focus on.
Thank you very much, Andrea. Impressive, this recent track record. George, coming back to you and building on the top of these specific examples from that Andrea mentioned to us, and particularly concerning with CoTech. How can CoTech help more companies and associates to embrace this new co-creation model of open innovation? How can CoTech particularly help?
It's very. I would like to acknowledge before I go directly to the question. I would like to acknowledge the members, other members of the panel, and notably Microsoft, that has been a very good partner to CoTech Business Associate for many years since the very beginning, and also the mayor. The City Hall of Porto, which we have been working together for several years. I'll say that CoTech is a business network, so it's also a platform for cooperation. By the way, the very beginning of our existence that we target, our mission was to leverage on the common knowledge that we could draw from our business associates in order to improve the innovation capabilities, and from that to improve competitiveness of companies by growing through innovation. And since the very beginning, and we were born back to 2003, we have been focused on connecting companies from very new companies, SMEs, very agile, and also larger companies, including multinationals. So how we do that? In some moments, we do it like a coordinated sky jump. It's like we bring everyone together and try to think together, or at least some of our business and business partners.
George.
And to try to circular economy, bioresources, digital transformation, you name it. Or we can do that in another way, like a party where you bring people and you try to exchange knowledge and ideas in a more informal or informal way. So we do both. And we do that by connecting small companies that have already something different to offer to the market to consolidate companies. But as we say, corporations and bigger companies, they culture eat startups at breakfast. And when I mean startups, means small companies, because they just see their own way to think and to behave. So I think it's basically, and that's my message to Efacec now, very good, and it's also has been one key player of our business network, that we would like to work, and it's our role to stimulate the behavior of the leadership of the companies, because innovation is about people and it's about leadership as well, to stimulate the right behavior for bringing people to the party. And bringing people to the party and to allow coordinate and skydive, it's about that company understand that we don't know everything. We want to share what we know with others in order to solve common problems. We have a strategy, and that strategy will bring the existing business model to the future business model. So we know that our business model will be obsolete in the future, so we have to transform itself. And we want to share risks and profits with our business partners. And this is absolutely critical. That's the way we work with business leaders, our business associates, in order to understand that they have to they need a fundamental different way to promote leadership within the companies and in the relationship of the company with their stakeholders and business partners. And by the way, in the other way, our message to companies, to smaller companies, startups or young companies, is basically they have to understand the way that what are the problems, really the problems that can be the killer application for the company that you are targeting. And you need a lot of persistence and resilience to overcome lack of enthusiasm and bureaucracy of larger companies. What we see is most of these open innovation efforts, they die because there are not enthusiasm and energy to move things forward. And that's a challenge that I will say. I would say that Efacec will have when managing this open innovation platform. It will be to energize continuously and to make it worth people just get happy or keep happy to be inside and to contribute. And of course, a critical idea is to bring something to the table. I normally say to companies, small companies, if you want to talk with bigger companies, you have to bring something very valuable to the table, something really different and unique. And once you don't have that kind of business proposal, that value proposition, you have to go back to your garage or something like your offices and to think what you can do by the company and not exactly the other way around, what the company can do by you. So timing is critical. We know that if you don't get your business obsolete, others will do that. And what we do basically is to create the pressure and to create the motivation. And as I say, sometimes in a coordinated party, when we bring everyone to think about the subject. In other ways, we create working groups and work and for exploiting and thinking about practical cases and use cases. And of course, in the third way, we look at also the relationship with the officials and policy decision makers in order to understand how we can improve the business ecosystems. So our platform is basically it's an infrastructure for building other ecosystems like Efacec is doing now in terms of their hopin open innovation platform. And I wish you very, very well, and I will be very, very happy and be here to help you in order to strengthen and to move forward with this new milestone, and very, very happy. And again, congrats about this.
Thank you very much, George. We do also count on you, and thanks for the analogies, namely the party analogy and the breakfast, because it is highly true that here inside corporations, when we face difficulties, we usually say that a culture and the daily culture eats strategy at breakfast. To illustrate that kind of difficulties. So thank you very much for sharing us your experience. And Philip, regarding Porto municipality in particular, we know you have launched successfully the Innovation Hub in 2016. Would you like to share with us some, let's say, some specific examples of solutions that have already seen the light of the day and that can be useful as a sharing experience to the persons that are listening to us today?
With pleasure, Hugo. With pleasure. No, it's well. Usually when I'm hearing or discussing these kind of things about innovation, usually gets to my mind that we can, as a politician, we can do it two ways. At least I've always thought about it. I can just manage the way, just continue doing the things that we have to manage in a city, or you can really improve. You can really put your your objectives high, and you can definitely drive the city to a new paradigm of quality of life, especially solving important issues as we have right now, as sustainability, as climate change, as many other difficulties that we'll be embracing in the near future, or we are embracing already. And that's why we have always put innovation in the core of our strategy, and we have devised a lot of programs in our strategy. As you mentioned, Porto Innovation One, Innovation Hub is one of the initiatives that we had. It's an open house, open innovation house in the middle of the city, open to everyone, to the companies, to the people, where we have been conducting a lot of initiatives. There were thousands and thousands of people that already passed there through several hundreds of initiatives that were made, not only by the municipality, but especially with many other companies, startups, and scale-ups from the city. Let me say one thing that I think it's important is that we always have, when we are talking about innovation and open innovation and co-creation, and especially in the public sector, we need to understand that there is a mindset shift that is needed in the public organizations, and we need to work with the teams and departments in order to assure that everyone is ready for this change. That's why, for example, Porto Innovation Hub has been working in a tool guide, a toolbox for innovation, and a guide for innovation, two instruments that we are using with our people inside the municipality. It's a set of tools that allow them to know the methods, allow to understand exactly how innovation can drive a city. So let me just state this, because this is very important for a municipality, for a company. We need to understand that this process has to be nurtured. We need, like George was saying, we need to have parties for people to understand that we can drive, we can get further, and mostly we can get more rapidly further in the city or in a company if we drive this. But to get concrete examples, I would like to say that in terms of innovation, the entrepreneurship strategy that the municipality devised was made together with all the stakeholders in the innovation ecosystem of the city, and all the organizations. We provide the Scale Up Porto initiative, and which is an initiative that where we promote and support a lot of activities that are developed by innovation stakeholders to enhance the opportunities in the city. And so we are created a network of entrepreneurs, business investors, innovators. So there was a lot that was made, and it's truly a very good example of the open innovation. You mentioned one of the examples that is always on my mind, that is the energy communities, as we mentioned, that is now building on Asprella. But maybe I will finish my intervention with another example that is not so technological, but there is a lot of technology there. It's, for example, our project that we are with a lot of international partners also, that is Urbinat, that is a European project where we are in a social deprived area with in Porto, it's between three social neighborhoods. We are devising a new public park with nature-based solutions. And we are doing this with a co-creation process, bringing a lot of innovation coming from the academia, and not only from the academia, where we are coping with climate change, with solving social problems. And we are doing this, again, using a network of partners, building on top of the experience that everybody has, instead of doing by our own something that would take us a lot more time and probably will not be done in the right way, or involving the technology and the expertise that would make this urban planning, for example, coping with heat islands or other climate change problems. So there is a lot of good examples that we are driving, and we truly believe that this is the way to improve the city. We have seen the transformation of the city throughout the years, with or without technology, but always driving by innovation and new knowledge.
Thank you very much, Philip, for highlighting these particular examples, and namely how the technology can enable social innovation also. This is certainly a very strong combination, namely for a public entity such as Porto Municipality. Tomás, according to your experience, today we have already touched here some, let's say, some of the strongest and successful outcomes of these kind of programs, both for corporate, big organizations and startups. But according to you and your experience, what is the most successful outcome for these two stakeholders?
Thank you. That's a great question. First of all, I would like to thank George for being more polemic than me with corporations eating startups. But actually, that's a thing, and I believe that he touched the right spot for me to start answering this question, which is how I think that the main challenge is how do we create this continuous energy that is a momentum for impact. I think that this would be the big challenge if I would put it in a sentence. And the answer for your question, I think it depends on the type of interaction. As of course, I understand Daniela's perspective, and I agree with it. There are different outcomes and for different stages. For instance, if you need to validate your idea and you're in the phase that you need to receive a lot of feedback in order to remake your value proposition, the contests and the competitions are a great process to do so. But so I feel like there are a lot of forms, as well as piloting, as well as for both ends. You can have outcomes, and I think the main focus would be on impact. How can we impact both sides, both ends, and how can we make that the value proposition fits the value chain of the company? So the value proposition from the startups, how can we make it fit the value chain of the company? That's the main challenge here, and once we figure that out, and that needs a big process to do so, then we have good outcomes for both, whatever they are. If they are a pilot, if they are the startup becoming a supplier for that company, whether it's an acquisition, whether it's a venture builder, a venture client model. There are a lot of models, but and a thing that's actually very important to be aware of is what makes this. No matter what the model we choose, there are some key factors that we should keep on our mind. One of those, surprisingly or not, is whether the administration or the CEO is involved. Is actually one of the key factors, because if they are involved in this moment of change for the company, the rest of the company will probably be more involved. So if the administration is involved, we got leverage as a program. Then a really important key aspect is how to involve the areas of the company to become participant and to add value to this process. Whether it's the selection phase, the integration phase, the solution phase, because as Daniela was saying, there is a real question of language different languages between the startup and the company, of different processes, of different ways of work. So we have to make it a little bit more horizontal from each side. And then there's a third key aspect. I would say it's fundamental to have good outcomes, which is if the expectations are well managed. So I think that it's critical to understand that this takes time from both sides, and that this is costly in terms of time, in terms of resources, in terms of money, and things that you can even imagine. And one final thing is all this process fail a lot, and everyone should be aware that this process have a high margin of failure, and they're supposed to fail fast, so that they are remade and then integrated in the value chain. So I believe this would be my intervention here.
Thank you very much, Tomás. And for the final comment on risk, because perhaps the biggest risk is not trying. Deborah, regarding the particular environmental sector where you are in, so have you faced any particular barrier so far, or do you envisage any particular barrier to embrace this kind of challenges?
So in our particular point of view, of course, that barriers that they are in here, but we have seen a change on the perspectives of corporates. Our intake, only to better introduce this team, enables to the food supply chain to transit to a circular economy. How we can do this? We help companies valorizing their fruit and vegetable waste sources and transform it in high value-added ingredients with the market value. So the idea is to transform percentages of the products that these companies they're already producing, and that until now this was waste, and we are helping companies giving value to this product and maintain them in the value chain, and to create then value also for the final consumers and for the environment. Because as an indirect impact, if we are reusing these wastes, we are retrieve them from the deposition and landfills, which have CO2 impact in the emissions on the environment. So we are helping at the end the environment and the companies to become more sustainable. With the European Union new directives and launches regarding the Green Deal impact, and also the United Nations development goals, companies and corporates, they are decreasing the barriers to new solutions that can improve these areas for them. For us, right now, companies are more open. They realize and they already identify this situation as a problem. They have to do something because they point of view, the policy makers saying that you have to show and to prove that you are doing something to these problems. And therefore, I believe the first thing it is depends on the company. But with the companies, they are seeing this problem and they have identified the strategy is not to show this solution only to solve this problem, but help these companies to change their value proposition, to incorporate this sustainability issue within core business and change or optimize their purpose to do this. As I was saying, the companies, they are more open to this kind of solutions. They are starting to looking for this kind of solutions. Still, Portugal, it is a little bit traditional on this type of market, but is changing, and they are more open. They are ready to listen, and they have a lot of questions. How could this type of business and solutions to improve their own business? And I believe the changing is still going on and within our market. So as to conclude in that question, the barriers, they are coming down. They are not totally down, but companies are start to open, and that is good for, in my case, my startup, but also for others that are arriving in the market with tackling another environmental issues.
Thanks, Deborah. And wish you all the best in this journey. Andrea, last but not the least, How does Microsoft sees this innovation ecosystem, particularly in Portugal? How are we behaving? At what stage we are in this particular journey? So, and what has been your particularly role in this capacitation and development of this ecosystem? Andrea, please give us your comment.
Thank you, Hugo. Well, first of all, I have to say that as a foreigner arriving in Portugal a little over 4 years ago, I was very impressed from the very beginning on the startup ecosystem, on the quality of the resources that are around the universities and the startups and in general the business ecosystem. So I was very impressed in how active in various areas Portugal is as a country. And obviously there are areas where we need to accelerate, but the first impression was super positive, and that is why from the very beginning when I arrived here, I decided really to put in terms of special focus and effort in supporting and accelerating the Microsoft for Startup program here in Portugal to help accelerate this relationship with startups here. But if I take a step back, I think it's very important to understand that the full picture for us in terms of looking at skilling, and so how do we contribute in helping the entire ecosystem, build the skills for the future. Obviously, there are some excellent in terms of universities and various institutions in Portugal, but we need to look at the broader base. And so one of the big investments that we're doing is to make sure that people have access to the right content and to build the right skills for the future. So that's definitely one area in terms of skilling and education where we focus on. And then obviously collaborating with the developers, the tech community, with a special focus on driving attention on when it comes to topics like women in tech, which is again a very key topic for us, and all the way to working with startups and startups that, as I said before, are the ones that are helping drive consistent innovation, but also they can become in the near future our partners, and some of them become some of our most relevant and larger partners that we have. So the whole chain from skilling, working with universities, working with startups, and then recruiting somehow these startups into our larger partner network, ISV network, so that they can really take the world stage and work with our customers at the global level. So this is really where we focus, and we've been particularly successful in Portugal. There are some very interesting examples of companies out there that have been very successful and with whom we have partnered. So I would say for us it's a key element of our strategy, and it's working particularly well in Portugal. Microsoft for Startups, the program itself, when it was relaunched in 2018 with a specific focus on specific kinds of startups, obviously mostly with focus on B2B. One of the first countries where they decided to invest was exactly Portugal. I have to say that things like Web Summit helped a lot to bring Portugal also on the broader stage. But nevertheless, the investment that was done in Portugal on this specific program has allowed us to create some best practices that we're now exporting within Microsoft in the rest of the world. For example, one innovation program that we have just started with startups and our fintech customers recently. It's something that shows on one side how we take a challenge and we work with various traditional customers to find solutions, and how then we can export this approach also to other countries for them to take advantage of what was invented here in Portugal.
Thank you very much, Andrea. And thank you all for these very good experiences and conversation. I believe that our community will value a lot, and wish you all the best. Thank you very much. And please, let's keep all in touch. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Hello, everybody. My name is Cipriano Lomba. I'm Technology Management Director at Efacec, and I will introduce you to Hopin, our home of open innovation. Are you ready to be challenged and to challenge? Innovation matters, really. We are living in a fast-moving world where innovation is key to our progress and to our sustainability. Customers' expectations are evolving fast. Without innovation, we cannot provide differentiated solutions, and without differentiation, we are not relevant. Moreover, it is no longer enough to innovate. We need to innovate better, faster, and smarter. But how can we do that? By looking at what customers really need and want, by finding out and working with what is sustainable, and by pushing technology further with creativity to develop innovative solutions for people. We need to be relevant to our people, to our customers, and to our partners. Together, we have the power to build a more sustainable future. Innovation really matters. Innovation without boundaries is key to our strategy of differentiation and higher customer value creation, starting from market needs, joining creativity and competence from our collaborative ecosystem. We will foster exploration and disruptive solutions and reduce time to market, achieving increased customer centricity and fostering a pro-innovative culture. Hopin is our tool to increase return on innovation and create stronger relationships with diversity of stakeholders within our innovation ecosystem. Technology and innovation are part of Efacec's DNA. Collaboration and sustainability help to shape this identity, combining the ecosystem's creativity and expertise. And this is how Hopin is born, aiming co-creation, collaboration, creativity, and continuous challenge. We believe these are key drivers for open innovation that pave the way to a more sustainable future. We, instead of I, is our state of mind and the reason why we created Hopin. Open innovation is the key to our progress, differentiation, and relevance. Hopin is our open innovation collaborative crowdsourcing platform where challenges and opportunities are shared within the community. It aims to create bridge and accelerate collaboration within our innovation ecosystem, leveraging customer-centric innovative tech solutions. Our innovation partners, namely startups and SMEs, can count on value proposition by accessing to customer base and long-term partnership, fostering sustainable business opportunity, as well as experimentation and exposure. In a few words, augmented value proposition and impact. At Hopin, you are invited to address impactful challenges, namely in the fields of energy, mobility, and environment. And this is how we got here. Hopin is our red carpet for open innovation, a cooperative platform to support the execution of our open innovation strategy, to share challenges and co-creation opportunities. Hopin represents our commitment with open creativity towards a sustainable future. Without boundaries, it is for every single innovator out there who dreams to add value with creativity and is up to challenge, to become a game changer. Hopin is for all who wish to be part and impact the future. Now, let's do a short visit to Hopin, our home of open innovation. So, we welcome you and we open our doors to the world of collaboration and co-creation. You can access it at hopin.efacec.com and find all the information about our open innovation strategy. You can also explore the challenge we are launching today. So let me just show you briefly how we can do it. So it is a quite simple platform and where you can find the challenges that we have now opened. So those are four: a leg warehouse, setting up a configurable warehouse, the Smart Analytics Toolkit, the all-in-one vehicle location system, and the SPIDA, Space Data Analytics. So you may select the one that you are looking for, that you have more creativity and more competence, and go into detail on it, understand what is the purpose, what is expected, what you are looking for, and using your open mind and creativity, don't let the good ideas fly away. So you fill down your submission form, and at the end, you simply submit it. We are waiting for your best answers and for your best proposals. So now I would introduce my four colleagues that will present us the challenge that we have for now. Here, and you will hearing my colleagues, Cristina, Vasco, Ricardo, and Paulo, who will drive us through each of those challenges. Thank you all for joining us in this open journey.
Welcome to our logistic challenge, Lego Warehouse, setting up a configurable warehouse. Traditional warehouses are very rigid, very fixed. They are built to last a lifetime. We no longer live in a world where everything happens in a predictable way and everything lasts for a very long time. And this kind of investment that has long periods of payback and that oblige that every time we want to change, these changes are very expensive and oblige the operations to stop, are no longer coping with our need of velocity, of agility, and flexibility in reacting to our customer needs. At Efacec, we are an engineering to order company. The storage needs are very different from project to project. To have a storage available for our project in Rwanda can be very different to the needs that we have for a project in Portugal, for instance. And the kind of products can be from very big products to very small products. And we need really to cope with these changes and with this speed in our warehousing systems. Long-term rigid warehouse equipment does not answer to these needs, and we need to be very agile, very fast. So we think that setting up a warehouse configuration should be as simple and easy as playing with Legos. We need to be flexible, fast, and economic. We know that currently our ERP systems, our warehouse management systems, we also have warehouse configuration softwares that also are based in big data and analytics and so on. They are currently in the market. But do we have anything that combines everything and gives us a configurable, flexible, and different scenarios in real time for us to analyze and be very fast reacting to the changes that happen every day? Do we have configurable equipment that can be changed in the field by the operators in a very short period of time, a few hours or in a few days? I don't think we have. So what we are challenging is to have a Lego warehouse that combines all of these functionalities that already exist, other functionalities that maybe we can find out together, and also that combines these with configurable equipment that we can easily and very fast change in the field with our staff. Configurable equipment is maybe the hardest part of this challenge. So we need an integrated solution, a software that is capable to deliver different scenarios, different configuration scenarios in real time, and also the equipment that can be configurable in the field. We hope to have an MVP within 6 months with, of course, to scale very small prototype that can give us an idea of how this warehouse could work. This challenge addresses 3 SDGs by supporting the logistic industry and promoting the quality of life and work of our employees. Also, it challenges the thinking about innovation and promoting the value creation and entrepreneurship. And also, we want to work together with local, national, and global partners to establish cooperation projects, partnerships, and participate in networks related with logistic and other research fields. Potentially, also, we would address the SDG 11 by engaging with the community to make our settlements inclusive, safe, and resilient, sustainable also. So join us for this challenge at our warehouse, Lego warehouse, and welcome with your creative ideas and with your participation in this challenge. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Vasco, and I'm here to present you SPADA, which stands for Space Data Analytics. Before presenting you to the challenge, let me first introduce you to the context in which the challenge is framed. Nowadays, there are around 3,000 operational satellites orbiting the Earth. In a recent projection, what is expected is this value to be multiplied by 20, since the number of satellites being sent to space is expected to be around 60,000. One of the main targets for Efacec are the large Earth infrastructures. So what is the added value that satellites can provide to this main target market? One, and the most obvious, is Earth observation. So satellites are now able today to substitute helicopters and drones in order to provide aerial imagery of large infrastructures. Another one, and less well known, is space weather. Basically involves the use of a sensor called a radiation monitor to measure the amount of radiation coming from the sun. And other sensors are able to provide added value to businesses related to large infrastructures. The challenge can be summarized in a simple sentence by saying that SPADA concerns acquiring and analyzing space-generated data in order to be integrated in the Efacec offer by creating new products and services for its core market or adding value to existing ones. So what is expected from this cooperation? Efacec will need to select a product which will be the base for the challenge and, of course, participate in the integration of the third-party software developed by the challenged entity. The challenge entity is supposed to develop software concerning the acquisition of space data, processing the data using, of course, big data and database management, and providing analytics to the data involving, of course, machine learning and artificial intelligence, etc. In addition, the third party, the challenge entity, is supposed to also work on the integration of the software in the Efacec products. In all, a minimum valuable product is expected to be ready within 6 months since the beginning of the project. And let me make your life easier by just providing a simple example of an obvious cooperation. One of the products from the Efacec portfolio is Skatex OMS. This is basically a data platform for energy management, but also for the maintenance of large infrastructures. So this means that the client is also interested in looking at the maintenance of vegetation around the power lines, which are dry and too big to be sustainable for the business itself. Tesselo is a startup that uses imagery from the Copernicus satellites and with a layer of artificial intelligence are able to signal infrastructures of the dry vegetation and the growth of the vegetation around the power lines in order to signal platforms for the maintenance to occur. Just by the description, it's obvious of the cooperation that can emerge from these two different companies. Regarding the impact in terms of the Sustainable Development Goals, it is expected to bring new players to the industry, which means adding new links to existing value chains. It is expected to impact in the industry innovation and infrastructure sustainable development goals, since space is an utterly innovative and bold environment. It is expected to impact on climate action, since this challenge and the cooperation coming from it fills the role of resource-intensive alternatives as helicopters in cars when it comes to monitoring infrastructures. And is expected to impact life on land, since this contributes to the coexistence of terrestrial ecosystems and man-made infrastructures. Thank you very much. I hope to talk to you soon.
Hi, my name is Ricardo Marques, and I'm Product Manager at Efacec. I'm going to present you the challenge to develop a new all-in-one vehicle location solution to be used in public transport networks. Typically, A public transport network is very dynamic, covers large city areas, and is subject to several factors that may disturb the normal circulation of vehicles and consequently degrade the quality of service to passengers. To manage it properly, a real-time operation support system, like Timekeeper by Efacec, is needed to aid regulators and drivers to efficiently overcome the daily obstacles that occur. The main operation support system components are the onboard equipment installed in the vehicles for local management and interface with the driver, the network for the voice and data communication between drivers and regulators, the operations control center, where the regulators perform the central management of the system, the public information equipment to provide real-time information to passengers at the stations, and lastly, the vehicle location system component, here challenged, that is the base of the operation support system. Focusing in this last component, the challenge consists on the development of a solution to locate vehicles in real time, with an accuracy below 1 meter that could operate in open space areas and also in covered areas like tunnels or covered parking areas. The new solution to locate vehicles shall be rugged enough and compliant with the required standards for installation on board of different types of vehicles, like buses or light rail trams. To reduce impact and cost on installation, the physical interfaces should be minimal. What we are looking for is an all-in-one location solution, a solution that could integrate both location and communication functions in the same onboard device. The same solution to be used in several types of projects and different types of vehicles. Wireless LAN network with low power consumption to broadcast vehicles' location information should be used, and by that way, automatically inform third-party subsystems. Those third-party subsystems requiring vehicle location information may be near, installed in the vehicle, or may be far from the vehicle, like the operation control center. The real-time location information shall be able to be shared with several subsystems at the same time. This solution should be cost-effective and sustainable. To validate the concept, a working prototype is required to be delivered. Sustainability is crucial for a healthy development of our society. For a better and sustainable way of life, the challenge here proposed is expected to comply with the Sustainable Development Goals identified by the United Nations Organization, especially the goals number 9 and 11, related to industry, innovation, infrastructures, sustainable and smart cities, and communities. As an example, these goals could be achieved by using new 5G networks and ultra-wideband technology, avoiding the proliferation of several and different communication and location infrastructures, by reusing equipment through easy installation requirements on different types of vehicles, or by sharing vehicle location information among different systems, avoiding the need to replicate devices for the same purpose at the same vehicles. We believe that projects like this may work as a catalyst to increase public transport ridership, turning it more competitive, digitally enabled, and more convenient for commuter mobility needs. Concluding and wrapping up, the main expected results in this vehicle location system challenge are to develop an all-in-one vehicle location solution that could take advantage of 5G communication networks and ultra-wideband technology, to develop a solution with a location accuracy below 1 meter and with low power consumption, a solution with minimal installation requirement to boost equipment reuse capability, where the location information could be shared with multiple subsystems. And finally, it should be cost-effective and sustainable. Before saying goodbye, let me thank you all for your time. Expecting to hear from you soon. Goodbye and be well.
Hi everyone. My name is Paulo Viegas, and I will present you the Smart Analytics Toolkit Challenge. Electrical grid operators are facing new challenges that are changing the way all the electrical grids are managed and controlled. There is a pressure to use sustainable sources of energy in a more efficient way, reducing fossil fuel dependency and maximizing the usage of renewables. Grid assets aging and the usage of the grid up to the limit improves the grid economic efficiency, but places new challenges concerning reliability, quality of service, and security of supply. And finally, the introduction of energy markets, the prosumer empowerment, and the flexible assets increases flexibility and complexity in the grid. Electrical grids have evolved from the simple systems of the past to increasing complex systems controlled in real time by millions of devices that, in the end, are monitored by human operators from control rooms. At the same time, the quantity of data that it is processed and manipulated and complexity of decisions taken by these operators is equally increasing. As a provider of solutions for the control center, we are committed with the development of decision support systems to assist operators dealing with this complexity in a real-time mode. With existing and emerging technologies, collecting and storing huge volumes of data is no more a problem. We have virtualization that simplifies the management of large-scale systems. We have digital communications improvements like IoT and 5G that scaled up the capacity for connecting devices, or we have augmented reality that enables a different way of interaction and time series databases to efficiently store large amounts of data. However, we need new strategies to extract valuable information from the data that it is becoming available, combining different machine learning techniques. In this example, from an utility from the United States, they produced around 53 million of events per year. After the introduction of smart meters, the number of events to be processed increased astronomically. This way, the challenge for Smart Analytics Toolkit is to apply machine learning techniques to large volumes of data to extract valuable information for electrical grid control center operators. This data will arrive to the control center from field devices, either in real time or in batch mode, and will be combined with operator actions. The result should be value-added information for the utility as a whole. For example, a control room, enabling more efficient and sustainable operational decisions, or for the maintenance department, anticipating and preventing incidents in the grid, and finally, for the top management with the most up-to-date information that maximizes the return of investment of our customers. Our target is to have an MVP within 9 months. Finally, this tool is important for us because, as we saw, the real value is in the information, not in the data. The tool will provide the basis for the next generation smart reporting, and it will enable our customers to make the most of the data they already have, with expecting impact on Sustainable Development Goals number 7 and 9. Thank you very much, and I hope you choose this challenge.
Wow, these are great challenges that really provide you with the opportunity to be relevant. And according to our innovation strategy, being relevant means addressing these challenges through meaningful, fast, and feasible solutions. We can only increase our relevance on innovation by working alongside you. Dare to hop in with us on this journey. We are now getting to the end of our event. It's been a pleasure to open the door of our innovation home and to share with you all this knowledge and amazing experiences. Thank you for your presence and for investing your time to get to know our home of open innovation and collaborative crowdsourcing platform, Hopin. To our guest speakers, it's been an honor to learn with your remarkable contributions. Innovation is, and always will be the key for progress. To my colleagues that were here today with us, thank you for your brilliant interventions and for pushing open innovation and technology forward. To the Efacec team, your creativity is the fuel to these and so many other incredible projects. I am more than proud to be part of this world of empowerment we have created together. To our clients, partners, suppliers, and stakeholders, let's continue to grow, to innovate, and to co-create safer and greener solutions with positive impact to the market and to our planet. A proficient and fair ecosystem is key to create an augmented value proposition with positive impact on sustainability. Our home is open to achieve this purpose that unites us, designing a smarter future for a better life. Join us in this technology and innovation revolution. We are waiting for you at hop-in.efacec.com. Get ready to challenge and be challenged. Thank you very much and stay safe. Have a good day.